This video is brought to you by TogetherBudget.com. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What is your current financial situation like? Do you have any debts, savings, or investments?
Well, I'd say I'm a bit of a mess. I've got a credit card debt of around $5,000 and a student loan that's around $20,000. But I also have some savings put away for emergencies.
That's completely understandable. Many people are in similar situations. Can you walk me through how much you spend each month on necessities like rent, utilities, and food?
Okay, so let's see. I spend around $1,500 a month on rent, $200 on utilities, and about $800 on groceries.
That's a good starting point. Now, can you tell me what your income is like? Do you have any fixed expenses or irregular income? Now that we have an idea of your income and expenses, let's talk about the 50/30/20 rule. Can you tell me if you're currently living within this framework?
Honestly, I don't think so. I feel like I'm always struggling to make ends meet.
The 50/30/20 rule is a great starting point for creating a budget. It allocates 50% of your income towards necessities, 30% towards discretionary spending, and 20% towards saving and debt repayment.
That sounds doable, but how do I actually implement it? Do I need to make any lifestyle changes?
Well, one of the first things you can try is cutting back on discretionary spending. Can you identify areas where you might be able to reduce your expenses? Let's talk about your credit card debt. Have you considered consolidating it into a lower interest loan or balance transfer?
I've thought about it, but I'm not sure if it would really help my situation.
Well, consolidating high-interest debt can actually save you money in the long run. Can you tell me more about your credit score and history?
Okay. I've got a few late payments on my record from a few years ago.
Late payments can definitely affect your credit score, but it's not the end of the world. Have you considered working with a credit counselor or financial advisor to get back on track? When it comes to categorizing expenses, the first step is to identify your fixed and variable costs. Fixed costs are those that remain the same every month, such as rent or mortgage payments.
That makes sense. But how do I determine what's a fixed cost versus a variable cost?
Now that we've identified our fixed and variable costs, let's talk about creating categories for our expenses. We can group similar expenses together, such as housing, transportation, or food.
That sounds like a good idea. But what if I have multiple income sources? Shouldn't I factor that in when categorizing my expenses?
One of the most important things to remember when categorizing expenses is to be consistent. Use the same categories and subcategories every month, so you can easily track your spending over time.
I see what you mean. But what about irregular expenses, like car maintenance or property taxes? Should I factor those in as well?
Let's talk about the 50/30/20 rule. It's a simple yet effective way to manage your income and expenses.
The 50/30/20 rule? I've heard of it, but I'm not sure how to apply it in real life. Can you explain?
One of the key aspects of managing income and expenses is tracking your spending. It's essential to understand where your money is going.
I've tried using spreadsheets and apps, but I always seem to fall behind. Do you have any tips for staying on top of it?
Another crucial aspect is prioritizing needs over wants. It's essential to separate the two and make conscious decisions about how you allocate your resources.
I struggle with this part. How do I know what's a need versus a want?
Now, when it comes to prioritizing debt repayment and savings, one of the most important things is to create a comprehensive plan. This includes identifying all your debts, their interest rates, and minimum payments.
That's right. And I want to emphasize that it's essential to tackle high-interest debts first, such as credit card balances.
Another crucial aspect is to create an emergency fund. This will help you avoid going further into debt when unexpected expenses arise.
Exactly. And I'd like to add that a general rule of thumb is to save 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in this fund.
In addition, it's vital to allocate funds for long-term savings goals, such as retirement or a down payment on a house.
That's right. And I recommend setting aside at least 10% of your income for these types of goals.
So, let's talk about monitoring and adjusting your budget. It's not a one-time task, but rather an ongoing process that requires regular check-ins to ensure you're on track.
That makes sense. I've tried setting a budget once and then forgetting about it. But what are some strategies for staying on top of things?
One strategy is to use the 50/30/20 rule. Allocate 50% of your income towards necessary expenses, 30% towards discretionary spending, and 20% towards saving and debt repayment.
That's a good starting point, but what about when unexpected expenses come up? Like car repairs or medical bills?
Another important aspect is reviewing your progress regularly. Set aside time each month to review your budget, identify areas for improvement, and make adjustments as needed.
That sounds like a lot of work. Can't I just stick with my initial budget plan?
This tutorial is brought to you by Malik Abwalzait.